Welcome to the Contrarians and welcome to Wednesday. It's the Contrarians live chat. Tonight's topic, swap that cover. I think you can figure this one out. If not, hold on, we'll explain it. Let's do it. Hey everybody, it's Wednesday and we are live. Look at this, and I hear somewhat of an echo, but let me check the setting. This seems like to be the MO every
You're sounding good over here.
All right, I guess we're okay. Maybe it's just space-time continuum. Look at this panel. We've got Jamie Laszlo, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. And then we've got Tim Darling, we've got Peter Kerr, and we've got Martin here. Tonight's topic, swap that cover. So if you looked at the thumbnail, did you notice that Animal Magnetism was placed on the other cover? This is kind of what we're doing. We're like taking album cover titles and switching them around. Anyway, gentlemen, nice to see you. If you have any questions, you'll get in. We do want to hear from you in the chat tonight. So we're going to start off with Mr. Tim Darling, and I already have screwed up the graphic because I did.
It's those pesky albums with multiple covers.
But anyway, you get a nice shot of Europe when they first started out.
Yeah, when they were like in their teens, yeah. So yeah, one of the first ones I thought of. So yeah, it's swapping two album covers by the same group or by the same artist within their catalog. So I was thinking that so this is the debut album from Europe, but this is the 1999 or 1989 reissue. And I thought it looked like these two statues were guarding something. And it looks like a pretty palatial,
Yeah.
So there could be some Prisoners in Paradise in there. And then the Prisoners in Paradise album cover. So if you took the title off that, I don't know, that's kind of European looking. Like I said, usually one of these is better than the other. So I like the idea of using this cover for Prisoners in Paradise. So that's my first.
I did see that cover, Tim, and in my monkey brain, it didn't register because I don't know Europe. So
I'm telling you, if you
could have been anything.
You'd have, if you put that album on, you'd almost not realize who you're listening to. That is so heavy.
Yeah, what a great album. That's the benefit of this show, is we get to be reminded of some of these great albums. That is an absolute storming classic of new wave of Swedish heavy metal, basically. Really, really cool. Teutonic kind of record.
So for the next one, I went with a couple of Yes albums. So this is Yes Shows from 1980. This is, I mean, Yes Years, Yes Songs, Yes Story. It's really confusing with their live albums and comps. But there's a bird, quite clearly a bird flying on there. So I thought that would look like it should say Fly From Here. So this is Fly From Here. And although there's nothing wrong with this album cover, I mean, it's just a great Roger Dean graphic. This could be Yes Shows, but mainly it was the fact you got a bird flying on here. So I said, well, let's call it Fly From Here. And the bonus part of that is that if people are hardcore Yes fans, they know that those songs that became Fly From Here, a lot of them, or at least the Fly From Here concept, was being worked on around the time of the Drama album. So there's a little timing thing that fits there. And my last one for this round is Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is another one that came to mind early when this concept was floated. Give Me Back My Bullets. So this is a compilation that came out in '82 called Best of the Rest. I think this graphic's been used for other things too, but I mean, there's clearly bullets on there, so they want them back.
Clearly. And
so the Give Me Back My Bullets cover is pretty nondescript. It's just a picture of the band, so they could call it the Best of the Rest. That's
right.
That's my first three.
Okay, nice. Before we go any further, hold on. So Dan's down there making fun because, ladies and gentlemen, not only did I screw up the graphic, but we're supposed to have a Contrarian show that we were going to record at 6 p.m. And I wrote it in my book wrong, thinking that it was this show. And I totally missed it. So everybody who's watching the show, check your Patreon page, because I sent out another date for us to re-record, and I marked it in the book. So go back and respond so we can get this rescheduled. And I do want to apologize, but I am just a monkey. So
happens to the best of us, Fred.
Happens to the best. So look, yeah, that's right. I know. I'm an idiot. But if you could go back We thought you were dead. No, I'm alive, but go see if you can join it. Let me know. We will do it. I am sorry.
All right. Well, before we move on, let's say hi to everybody here. We've got West Coast Dave here. Gary Joyce is here. And I even saw, D-Rockers already put in an example. Robin Trower, Bridge of Skies, and Long Misty Days. Switch those two around. Damien's here. The Elder is here. Ken White, Kyle, Classic Rock Junkie. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of folks here, and hopefully some ideas come in here. Captain Adam Smasher says, my first thought is A Little South of Sanity by Aerosmith, which is always the album I think people are talking about when they mention Pump. Yeah, it's a good one because the album is a gas station and a pump. Excellent. We've got D-Rocker coming in again with High Voltage and Power Age. So I don't know who's next, Grant. Tell me who's next.
We're going to go to, I'm just going to go around. We're going to go to Peter Kerr, then you, then me. I only have one, people. I can't really screw that one up. And then we'll go to Jamie. All right, Peter Kerr, you're up.
Okay. First selection is Thin Lizzy, Fighting and Bad Reputation. So the reason why I did a swap-a-rooney on this when this comes up is...
Yeah, if I can find it. God darn it, people. Here we go. There you go. I'm with you, Peter.
Okay. So Bad Reputation, I put it as Fighting because that wasn't a very, it was a bit of an acrimonious album. There were three, a lot of tension behind the scenes. So let's call that album Fighting because that's actually the reality of what was happening. And Bad Reputation, the other version, which is where, they got the baseball bat. You've got the other album version, but just the, I think it's the UK Europe version of Fighting where he's got the baseball bat and, calling that Bad Reputation because it makes them look pretty rough and tough and with a bad reputation.
Nice.
Next one. This is the lowest hanging fruit of the lowest hanging fruit. It is so low, folks, that if it was an orange tree, you'd pick the orange off the ground. White Snake, 1987. You could actually pick any of the albums from 1987, swap it around, and you go, oh, okay, there you go. Just interchange.
That's a good one, though, I will admit, because
I was thinking about going down that road, but
it's so low hanging, I would have never thought about it.
It was like picking an orange off the ground. It was just, but they just became really lazy. It was basically, we don't want to show the band cover. We don't want to show that this is a middle-aged hard rock band. Let's just put on some mystical.
Plus, they never knew who's in the band.
Also, you never know who's in the band at any given time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did lend them a nice sort of aristocratic, these are guys with a bunch of history sort of vibe, right? Like they're trying to be like the gold standard of hair metal bands sort of.
Got Hugh Syme a lot of work with Geffen Records. He told me that himself. Once
Coverdale's artist just kept drawing the same image over.
They tried to recapture the '87 album over and over, like sales wise and hits.
Exactly.
Like, it looks like that one, and you like that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Folks, get the lemon and you squeeze it dry until there's nothing left, and they just keep on keeping on.
Or you keep going out and buying what you think is 1987, and it's the wrong one, and you have to keep going back to the store until you get the right one, right?
Absolutely. Metallica, Load Reload. I get confused. I used to get confused which is which because, it's all volcanic. It's all sort of, I think it's a photo maybe of a planet. I don't know. But I always found these two covers interchangeable. So always got a little bit mixed up which is which.
Oh, I always heard the first one was Blood and Semen.
Yeah. And the second one is Blood as well. Yeah.
Well, if your semen looks like that, you better go see a physician right away because I don't think that's right.
Yeah, you got some Damage Incorporated going on.
Something's going on, and I'd hate to see what happens if you reproduce because those kids might have extra arms.
I don't want to see that baby.
This is by one of those famous multi-million-dollar type.
I'm trying to think of his name without. Yeah. Trying to think of what his name is.
It's not Damien Hirst, but somebody like that, right?
Isn't it for something Ferraro or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Was that 3?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. All right. My first one is Judas Priest, Stained Class, and Sin After Sin. So I just thought, Sin After Sin really looks like it's got a stained glass window on this thing here. It's pretty cool. You can actually go on the internet and find the photo of this exact tomb, which is kind of cool. Like it's a real crypt in England somewhere. And then I figured stained class. You know, sin after sin. This looks like somebody caught in hell who's destined to have you know, hot steel spikes shoved through his head in eternity, kind of thing. So that is my first one. By the way, I wanted to mention I have been reading this, Sing Me Away, Tim's awesome Night Ranger book, learning a lot about the band. This is a huge book, big, thick book.
It's the
Been
biggest
playing
one,
a lot
yeah.
of Night Ranger and finding some Night Ranger albums I'm just not really a fan of. Pretty interesting band, but I was not crazy about that last album after reading a bunch about it in here. But yeah, very good job, Tim, on this.
Thank you.
Keep doing these books. They're really cool. They're going to teach a lot of people about this music. All right, my second one, I don't have a physical of one of them, but one of them is Genesis Duke and Trespass. So there's your Duke. So I figured, you know, the guy kneeling on Trespass looks like a Duke. The funny thing about the first two Genesis albums, they both look like Christian rock albums.
Very
because
much.
The first one's called from Genesis to Revelation, and has a bunch of different covers, including I think a full black one. But I mean, the one with the text on it, you know, they were saying it, you know, it would get filed in the Christian rock section, and same with this one, right? But then I figured this was really cool to call this Trespass because it looks like the guy's trespassing, staring in your window, kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of cool. And next I've got Black Sabbath, Never Say Die, and Technical Ecstasy. Where are my CDs of that here? There they are anyways. But yeah, we were talking about ideas, and I found it interesting that both of these have two figures on the cover. But yeah, I thought, you know, Never Say Die could take the title Technical Ecstasy. Pretty cool because you're going on a big flight, which is really cool. G-force and all that kind of thing. And then Never Say Die, it's like, you know, these guys are, you know, either killing each other or giving each other life, kind of thing. But I figured that
I thought they were reproducing.
Never Say Die as well. Yeah, they are. But we have to make up a story, right?
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, I love these two covers. Yeah. I think they're two really, really cool Hypnosis covers.
Hypnosis does a lot with two figures, don't they? Like the
I think they do. Yeah,
Parsons.
that's right. Yeah, we were mentioning other examples, and then you know, Roxy Music isn't them, but I think they've got a lot with those two gals, or one or two, anyways. All right, so let's just see if any more are coming in quickly here off the charts. The Darkness, Permission to Land, and Last of Our Kind are interchangeable. Kind of cool. Molly Hatchet, swap for Zetas for any of the titles.
Oh yeah,
good one there. Swap any John Mellencamp title. Van Halen 5150 and Balance. Interesting.
Oh, that one works.
Actually, that is a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one. Yeah. Good job there. Ted Nugent, Little Miss Dangerous, and if you can't lick them, lick them. Absolutely.
T-Rocker.
Manowar,
Yes.
swap any cover. Night of the Opera, Day at the Races, says West Coast Dave. All right, on to Grant for his one
right,
example.
I only have one. I tried, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't have a lot of time. So I only could come up with one, and I tried, and I kept looking, and I guess that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. All right. The only one I could come up with was Foreigner, Inside Information, and Head Games.
Yeah.
You're saying, what the hell? Well, Head Games, look, it's the woman's head. It looks like she's looking at the dude trying to do head games with him. That's the way I interpret it.
Yeah.
You know, she look at the look on her face.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Inside Information, well, she's wiping off all the information, but you know, if you're in those stalls, there's a lot of information to be had in there. So,
Jeez, Grant picks one, and I think it's Grant for the win.
yeah, that's good.
it's the only one I could come up with.
Head Games is one of the most Hypnosis-looking album covers that isn't Hypnosis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Everything
So there
about
you
it.
go. The only one I could do. So there you go. So Jamie, you're up next.
All righty. How about a little Frank Zappa? Waka Jawaka. Now, if she jumped out and said, Waka Jawaka, you wouldn't be too surprised. You go, what the hell? Get back in that empty pool. And then Hot Rats, my goodness, it says it right on the cover. It's there already.
Yeah, that's a good
So,
one.
Nice. Good one. Definitely.
Stoner rock band, kind of like a super group, a newer super group with some guys in it. I think this is a U.S. band. Big Scenic Nowhere. You got The Way Down and Dying on the Mountain. Well, Dying on the Mountain has an eyeball going on the way down, and the way down has mountains.
So,
there
nice.
you go.
Those are cool covers. I like those.
Yeah.
Albums to do LSD by. That's the way I kind of look at it. Anyway.
And you use this as an example on the thumbnail.
Oh, yes.
You could do, I mean, I get animal magnetism here. You got the dog and animal magnetism with what's going on. But that could be some savage amusement as well for him, hopefully.
It looks, well.
And, you know, she's turning into a scorpion or half a scorpion. And that could be some animal magnetism going on.
You know, and I got to remind people, the best damn show the Contrarians ever did was when Marco went and switched those covers. We did all that hypnosis switching around, and he went and did that with all of them. I love that show. I go back to that every once in a while and take a look at it. We've been threatening to do one with Vertigo for years, but I haven't gotten around to making the picks. But yeah, check out that show. Love that Contrarian show.
All right. Was that 3? Jeez, Jamie, you're so damn quick. Tim Darling, you are up next.
Okay, so it's funny because these just both happen to be compilations and they both have a boxing theme. So Sammy Hagar, this rematch from 1982, that's after he left Capitol, but this Capitol put this out. So it's obviously looks like it's advertising a boxing match. And so it could be called Unboxed. And then Unboxed, well, he's in a boxing ring, so it could be called Rematch. These two are completely interchangeable.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
good.
Next up, I think again one of these is better than the other. So I've got Queensryche. So this is like Take Cover, their covers album, but it could also be The Warning because obviously something bad's happening. And I don't know. You'd take cover if you saw these beams of light coming towards the earth.
100%.
And the last one, got to talk about the Maritime's finest, especially one of these, April Wine. And this one, I mean, like I said, one was better than the other. One of the worst album covers ever. The first album, yeah, we could call that Stand Back. I mean, either stand back, literally you're telling whoever this is to stand back, or his feet smell so bad you want to stand back.
Yeah.
And then you take the name off of this, and that could be a debut album, other than the fact that only Miles Goodwin was in the band on the first album, but people don't need to know that. So that's my next 3.
The band with the worst album covers of all time.
Oh, pretty bad.
Thank God for Capitol Records to sign them.
I'm going to give that to Def Leppard. I always bring up Def Leppard.
No, theirs are better.
Easy, but
Fleetwood Macs are pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
not like April Wine.
Tim, you should know this being Canadian, but does A Foot in Cold Water have an album cover with feet on it?
Cannot picture. I cannot picture any
there
of
is
their
Toe Fat, right?
albums.
With the big toe.
Toe Fat.
Yeah, that name just sounds off-putting.
Yeah.
I will
People
say
don't like
that
the April Wine name either. I think it's a stupid name.
Oh, I love the name April Wine. But I will say Harder Faster is a great album cover.
Once they got on Capitol, the covers got a little better. They
got logos and everything.
Was yeah.
Except the 4 ellipses, right? We don't like a 4 dot ellipses.
Yeah, shouldn't have ellipses.
Right. But no one got hurt because of those ellipses, so we're okay.
I guess not.
Yeah.
That's like a speed. That's like a verbal speed bump.
Yeah.
Especially if you got to put it after a sentence and you got the period, and then you got 4 more dots, then you got 5 dots in a row.
Exactly.
Well, maybe someone did get hurt from that. Yeah. I don't know.
I have to deal that every time I put wasp at the end of a sentence.
Or
like I have editors that remove the last dot when you do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Or and justice for all. Dot and justice for all.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your episode in English today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Martin, you want to see what's happening in the chat?
Sure. That was all of them for Tim.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so my music corner says, did someone mention watch? We
Johnny
Wasp,
Metal.
damn it. Take cover warning. Jeff Tate threatened with a lawsuit. Damien, let's see, aren't feet for crushing the grapes. Let's see, I'm going in reverse order.
Oh,
here.
there
We've
you
got
go,
West
yeah.
Coast Dave mentioning Neil Young. Everybody knows this is nowhere. And after the gold rush.
That would
okay.
work.
Saint Vincent, Strange Mercy, close up, and no, we're not going across bands here. That was the challenge we posed for ourselves. It has to all be the same band, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, all enough. Yeah, enough's enough. Have very simple covers too. How much it goes on there? Motorhead, self-titled and on parole. Yeah, Motorhead. I kind of looked at Motorhead. They do all sort of work. It's funny when I did mine. I was like there were 3 complete lists done, and I had to go through and just find bands that hadn't been mentioned yet with big catalogs and try to figure it out. So that's how I stumbled through this thing. D-Rockers also mentioned Crocus, Metal Rendezvous, and Hardware. Van Halen 1 and 2, says West Coast Dave. Black Flag, Loose Nut and Slip It In. All right. Early Yes albums, all
Loose Nut.
except Tales. Dream Theater. A dramatic turn of events and distance over time, says Jason. All right, on to Australia.
All right.
Okay, Judas Priest. These 2 albums, I think, bookend each other. I've always regarded Defenders of the Faith and Screaming for Vengeance. So you've got these 2 kind of robot monster type things, and I just think it, if you swapped it around, it kind of fits in with the title and the themes.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
for sure.
Next one, Anthrax, Spreading the Disease and Among the Living. So I think Among the Living, I think that you could just put Spreading the Disease. There he is, and unbeknownst to everyone around him, there's a bit, he's spreading it out.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And then Among the Living, I think that he's barely, he's still alive. He's trying to come off the operating table or whatever they're trying to do him. So I think that fits in with the titles.
Those album covers, you look at them, they're very, with the washed out colors and that really crude logo, they look really almost like hardcore albums in a way, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the images on the internet are very washed out. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's what they look like. I mean, I don't think Persistence of Time is a very good cover, nor is State of Euphoria. They
all need the contrast turned up.
Yeah, and the first album cover is famously not great. Sound of White Noise is
that first album cover is not good at all.
How about Stomp 242 or whatever it is? Just a big
with the Storm Thorgerson thing. Yeah,
I think Among the Living I think that's a great album cover because it's kind of humorous. And it's got that Anthrax humor. I like it. It
reminds me of the movie Children of the Corn or Phantasm or something.
Yeah. It's a guy called Poltergeist 2.
That's it. Poltergeist 2.
The Preacher. Right. Hello. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Was that 3?
No. You're
okay.
winding me up again.
We were on a tangent.
Roxy Music. Self-titled and For Your Pleasure. So look, Roxy Music, it's the Vogue models. There's a lot that you can interchange, but I just thought based on the themes and For Your Pleasure, you could probably swap these 2 around and wouldn't be noticed.
All right.
All right, you're up, Martin.
Now? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Now we're there.
All right, ZZ Top, La Futura, and Afterburner. So, I took out Recycler by mistake. Okay, so there's Afterburner. So Afterburner definitely looks like the future. So that's La Futura, and I like Afterburner for La Futura as well because they're kind of just watching like a spaceship takeoff kind of thing, watching the Afterburner fall away or something, right? So it looks like they're just sitting there. You see the glow in the background. Not my favorite ZZ Top album. It's a little too short and a little uninteresting. Actually, both of these are.
I think they're watching their album sales go down.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think it is.
Exactly. No kidding.
A spaceship.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my first one. My second one is Aerosmith with Night in the Ruts and Rock in a Hard Place. So definitely you could see Rock in a Hard Place being used for that Night in the Ruts image with the guys all in the mine. And then Night in the Ruts, it's like show up to Stonehenge at night and you're there waiting to see what happens, whether some aliens come down and take you away or whatever. So you just spend a night in the ruts of Stonehenge and see what happens, kind of thing. And my last one, I apparently don't have a copy of Rock and Roll Over anymore. I didn't find one anyways. But Kiss Rock and Roll Over and Carnival of Souls. There's my fully signed Carnival of Souls. And I just figured, it looks like, hey, Rock and Roll Over to our place for a jam. So that's much better. Carnival of Souls, I mean, there's no relation to that with that cover at all. We know it's made to look like a little bootleg kind of thing. But yeah, it definitely looks like Rock on Over to my basement. We'll have a jam. And then the bottom one definitely looks like Carnival of Souls. It looks like you're out at the funhouse kind of situation. And there are these ghoulish four souls spinning around, tormenting you. So that is my third one.
You know what drives me crazy about that cover is that you look at those guys and I see the Kiss logo, but for some reason with this version of Kiss, I'm never comfortable with the Kiss logo because it doesn't look like Kiss to me. They just look like a bunch of guys jamming and getting ready to go play a bar.
Yeah, it's a terrible cover. And I don't like these titles where you got two titles and you got to do
final sessions. Yeah.
What do you put a ... or a dash and it's kind of
I just don't like the cover at all. But maybe that's the reason they went with that. I don't know. It just looks cheap. Maybe.
Yeah, bad type everywhere. Good album though. I like that album. It's obviously their surrender, complete surrender to grunge. It was a very grungy album, contentious. Paul didn't want to do it, right? Gene wanted to do it, and Paul didn't want to do it. I think.
Yeah, Paul didn't. Paul was kind of silly to write about how miserable he was in his big, expensive house.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's always a tough one to conquer. Songwriting,
I like some of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Grant's given us his superlative one, so over to Jamie.
Yes.
All right, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. CSN, which actually has two covers. A lot of people don't realize that. It had two covers.
Oh, that's not it. I can't see it.
Spoiler.
Damn it, Grant. I can't see it. Those are such crappy album covers that I can't see it.
It's a CSN, but it kind of looks like they're living it up, right? On the see?
Mm-hmm.
So they're living it up. And the theory I once heard about Live It Up is that this is 4 hot dogs. 1, 2, it's CSN, and they're cutting off young. So I guess you could call this, we're going back to CSN.
You know, this is the number one album that Jamie has shown on this show. Is that cover?
This was very difficult.
Yeah.
All right, Rolling Stones, Dirty Work and Undercover. When I worked at a record store, a woman came up to me yelling. I was on the floor. She goes, "Why are you selling porn in this store?"
Is it Marge Simpson?
20 years old going, oh my God, here we go. So I guess you could call that some dirty work. And Undercover, well, it looks like they're maybe undercover on Miami Vice episode there.
Yeah. Nice.
Undercover work. Look
at
drugs.
Nice. Excellent. Cool.
And
that hasn't
this
aged
one,
well.
we're going to do Pentagram. Pentagram Relentless. You could say, hey, you're buying an album with a damn pentagram on the cover. We're called Pentagram. Be forewarned. Just be forewarned. And with this one, you have this monster or vampire or something, and he's pretty relentless. That is
nice.
Attacking. There you go.
Good stuff. Okay.
Now that's 3.
Is that 3? All right.
Okay.
Let's just see what else is coming on here. We've got Fleetwood Mac. Self-Titled and Rumors. They are always very similar. Yeah, it's easy to confuse the two, right? Badfinger, Self-Titled and No Dice. Grateful Dead, Oxamoxa has a sun on the cover, swapped with Anthem of the Sun. Good one there. ZZ Top, Eliminator and Afterburner. David Bowie, Low and Heroes, Megadeth, Peace Sells and Rust in Peace. Yeah, a lot of them are coming in. New York Dolls, Self-Titled and Too Much Too Soon. Lucifer's Friend, Good Time Warrior, Sneak Me In. All right, over to Tim.
That was a pair of Fleetwood Mac album covers, and I'm not sure if anybody here has them. That's was the germ of this idea, actually, but I won't say what they are in case somebody else has them. So my next one, a couple of Nazareth albums. So we've got Rampant, '74, which actually is a Hypnosis cover, it just doesn't really look like it, and Malice in Wonderland from 1980. Now, so the one I really like is calling this, I actually don't have either of these on CD, calling this one Rampant, because those kids are running rampant. It's chaos, there's a fire. And that guy looks pretty malicious. I don't know if it's Wonderland or not, but anyway, that's my first.
He does.
Love that Nazareth cover, like the Malice in Wonderland one. What a great cover.
It would
that
look
was.
better if they used their actual, well, neither of those used the Nazareth logo.
It would be better if they actually used distortion pedals too on that album.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty polite, let's say yacht rock album almost.
Yeah.
So the next one, now I like the idea of Cheap Trick one-on-one, because the photos of the band, they're literally all shook up. They're all like kind of in different places. Now one-on-one doesn't work quite so good for this cover, but I mean, it's such a strange cover, you could pretty much call it anything. It doesn't work any better or worse than All Shook Up does, because like, what does this even mean? This is like a surrealist nightmare type of thing. Anyway, but I like the idea of calling this one All Shook Up.
All right.
Let's go with this, Mr. Durling. Let's go, because it's George Martin.
Yes.
So the band is one and George Martin is one-on-one.
And
Nice.
one of the guys in the band was 1 foot out the door.
That's
Right.
for that.
All right. So
I don't even think he's on this record. I think Rick Nielsen played
Did he
most
play
of it.
all the bass? Yeah, and I think he played all the bass on one-on-one too, because I don't think John Brandt played any. I don't think.
I think he
Pete
played like on
anything.
3 songs or something.
So I've got to put myself in here. So this is Helix, No Rest for the Wicked. Now, I mean, they're either half alive or half awake, and this is a pretty wicked looking cover, half alive.
How much did you get paid for that shoot, Tim?
Boy, I you know what? I was 9, so I think it went into a trust.
But talking about physicians, that cover down, that guy better go see somebody ASAP.
He's got a little that flesh-eating disease, I think.
I don't get it.
So my final one, I thought this was funny. Now I'm going to start off with this for Queen. Now, calling this a kind of magic, there's something almost hypnotic about these rings, but when I think of this album cover, the only thing I can think of is jazz hands.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The only thing I think about is Goofy.
Well, that too, it's very
First one
Disney. It's very Disney or Kitty looking for sure. But yeah, they're like jazz hands. So those are that's the rest of mine.
Nice, good job. All right, over Australia, final 4.
Yeah, look, Duran, a couple of their album covers where they were going through their Buccaneer pirate shirt wearing phase. It's interchangeable. So I chose 7 and the Ragged Tiger with the live album Marina. So you could probably swap either.
Yeah.
Depeche Mode, Violator, and Exciter. So you both got plant, it's botanical. And there's a bit of a metaphor going. I think you could swap it around, the Violator with the Exciter with Violator. Violator, great album. Tears for Fears. This band's quite depressing in respect of their album covers. They're not a very cheery band. So you've got the Hurting, and you've got Roland, who's hurting because he's gone solo. He's wondering where his buddy is. So,
well, they both hated each other, so he's probably going, I hope I can handle this by myself. But
yeah, or he's looking at the floor and saying, where are the record sales? Anyway.
Exactly. Like ZZ Top.
Yeah, so I think you could sort of just change this up.
Maybe you should have just joined ZZ Top and see if putting the two together could revive their careers.
But Peter, I will say this: there is not a bad Tears for Fears album. Even though when he went solo, they're still good records.
Their catalog is high quality, all the way through.
Love Tears for Fears. God, so good.
And I'll finish up with one of my favorite all-time bands. I know Martin likes this band, The Damned, and I've picked Phantasmagoria and Evil Spirits.
Yeah.
So I think you could swap those titles around and it would work.
What does Phantasmagoria mean?
It means we've just invented goth music.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to your doctor with a bad case of it.
Well, what year was this record?
85. They didn't really invent it, but that's
I was gonna
considered an
say.
important goth album. It actually is. People really, really consider that a key milestone in goth, even though goth goes back, at least to I don't know when is Bauhaus' earliest stuff? 82,
79,
Cure 81, 82. All So the very early 80s, I suppose it all starts. But
yeah. I used to see that album in the used bins. My God, I never see it. I saw back in the 80s, you'd find it in the used bins every now and then, but man, I haven't seen one in years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Final four. I'm going with AC/DC Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap and Highway to Hell. So I just figured there's my Highway to Hell. So I just figured this looks like Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, like they're just showing up and saying, "You got any work for us? Anybody you want to bump off?" kind of thing. And then I figured all these people are just hanging around on the Highway to Hell. Their faces are marked out there, but yeah, they've all done something wrong, and they're just waiting to be run over or picked up by Satan in a white van or something like that, and taken away. And next I've got UFO, No Place to Run, and Walk on Water. So I figure here they are hanging out at the gas station. If you get gas in your car, you can drive away, but they have no gas, so they're walking on water. They're just they can't get any gas, so they have to walk. So they're walking on water. And then I figure No Place to Run. It's like, okay, you've put me back together with Michael Schenker. We've got no place to run. We have to see if these gigs are going to come off or not. And in many cases, they did not. So that's the situation there. Yeah, any Walk on Water, as I told Grant, there's various album covers for this. I guess this is the US. That's even newer. There's a Japanese one that looks different from all of these, because I think this deal was put together first in Japan to get Michael Schenker back in the band. And then my second to last is Accept, Balls to the Wall, and Accept. So we've got, you could just call this Accept, because you're about to accept whatever this guy's going to do with you.
Where is it?
I don't know, but I've got it here in all its glory. So yeah, the idea is here, accept your fate, that the dude with the short shorts and the big steely in his hand is going to do. And then I figure we've got this menacing looking gal with the big chainsaw. We've got a wall, balls to the wall. Something's going to happen as you show up for this little meeting with her. And then my final one, I've got Blue Oyster Cult, The Revolution by Night, and Fire of Unknown Origin. So this could definitely be called Fire of Unknown Origin, because there's a big lightning bolt coming down from the sky in the night. And I figured this is much closer to The Revolution by Night, simply because it looks like all these little oyster cultists are gathering to put in place a revolution by nighttime, which, as you can clearly see, it is night in this picture. So that is my final four.
There you go, Martin. West Coast Dave says the Doors started goth.
Yeah. There's a lot, and Velvet Underground. You could pick up Black Sabbath. You could pick a lot of things going back, right?
Yeah.
As you start, as all these genre things go, you've got your bits and pieces, and then you've got, what is your first album? I don't know what the first goth album is.
I could see it stemming from there, or Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though, Dave. Good point.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Could be Screaming Lord Such. Go back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
D-Rockers brought up Firefall, Self-Titled, and Comet. We've got
There
Joy
you
Division, Unknown Pleasures, and Closer. And those are very close to the first goth albums as well. Forgot about those two. Revolution by Night is an underrated album. Yeah, I go back to it fairly regular. It's a pretty cool record. Buffalo, Only Want You for Your Body, 1974. Tears for Fears, Round for Decade, probably Money Issues and Burnout. Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks, and The Great Rock and Roll Swindle. I just talked to Steve Jones. We're going to have a little article in Goldmine on that eventually. And Budgie, Never Turn Your Back on a Friend, and In for the Kill. Very cool. Pantera, Far Beyond Driven, says the Elder, and Vulgar Display of Power. All right, there you go. Wrap her up.
All right, there you go.
Right,
40 minutes, man.
Hey,
Hey, okay, well then you can do 4 too then, sure.
Jeez.
Well, so is everybody finished? How did we miss you?
I don't know.
Because you started with Tim.
Oh,
And-
I see. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody,
we
Don't worry, I'll
that's okay.
go for it. We're good. We have time.
We have
do we have
plenty
time
of
for
time.
Jamie? We always have time for Jamie. Go for it.
Dark
All right,
Throne.
I'm ready.
Dark Throne. Band that changes their sound every 3 albums. Old Star and Internal Hails. Now I don't have Internal Hails, so you need to bring it up. See, Internal Hails has stars, and Old Star looks like internally in hell. So that works.
All right.
They've changed the graphic array on StreamYard, and now it's so small I can't see it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Stray Cats Built for Speed and Rant and Rave. Look, they could be sitting there ranting and raving. I don't know. If this was Rant and Rave, called Rant and Rave, you'd go, oh, okay, no big deal. But here they're actually building
God, I hope that's it.
a car, sort of. So
Yeah.
Built for speed.
And they're certainly not ranting and raving
Yeah,
there either.
not ranting and raving.
No.
This is kind of similar to what Tim did. I forget what band it was. Molly Hatchet. Their greatest hits looks really cool. And No Guts, No Glory is this. If you're going to do a greatest hits album, if you're going to do this kind of cover, this should be your greatest hits. And the cool one should be having the cool name.
You keep all your studio albums looking,
Yeah,
100%.
and the greatest hits can get away with that bullshit.
Yeah.
And my last one is Jethro Tull, the Zealot Gene. Now, he could be saying, Zealot is being like passionate about stuff, I believe. And he could be saying, hey, I'm really passionate about this. F you. But too old to rock and roll is pretty much right there on the cover.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Nice one.
There you go.
Oh, and look at that. A present comes in right at the end from D-Rocker. We get a mention of Pat Benatar for In the Heat of the Night and Crimes of Passion. Come on, Jamie.
I thought about it, but I didn't go with it.
Well, do you agree with that, though?
I mean, you could switch them, but it doesn't make any less or more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that doesn't matter.
The 2 Fleetwood Mac ones that I was referring to earlier were Mirage and Tango in the Night, because Mirage actually has Lindsay and Stevie. It looks like they're dancing. So
I'm surprised you didn't use that one.
I figured somebody else would take it.
That's a good one, though. That's perfect.
Yeah. All right. Now, Grant, wrap her up.
Man, that was something. All right, everybody. First of all, I want to thank the panel tonight, Jamie Laszlo, Tim Durling, Peter Kerr, of course, Martin, and myself. I want to thank everybody in the damn chat tonight. You were all on fire. You made it fun. That's why we do this. Look at this. The damn freaking... He just got a first Jethro Tull album today. Look at him. It's
Nice.
a good day. So anyway, we're all just trying to turn you on to stuff. If you'd like to be on these things,
another raps, he won't buy another one.
yeah, don't start out with that. Dan, don't do that. Anyway, thank you, Elder of Rock. There you go. Good show. Anyway, thanks, everybody. If you'd like to be on these panels, we'd love to have you. If you would love to support the channel, we do have a Patreon. If you'd like to support us that way. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. We also have a Ko-fi, buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We'd much appreciate that. We're just here talking music, but it's always fun hanging out here on a Wednesday. So we do appreciate everybody here. We will probably be back next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we will talk about it. And there's one question from Jan. I want to throw it over to Jamie Laszlo. Does Pat have a Dark Horse album? Jamie Laszlo, go.
Meaning like
Dark Horse album.
Sell well that you should buy.
Yes.
Inamorata.
There you go, Jan. Your question's been answered. We are here for you.
Nice.
All right, everybody. We'll see you. Keep it clean, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. All right. See you.
All right. Thanks.